good day, everyone, and welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program now Hope Alive. Never give up on a new Nigeria. Today, I welcome all well-meaning Nigerians and Obedience worldwide. Welcome to Obedient Family TV. On a good morning and afternoon, evening, wherever on a day, depending on our time zone, with the welcome on us and take join us. So we'll go start with the things we say they happen to our Nigeria and the way where our own principal, His Excellency Peter Obi, how he talks and make we address the things as he take be. The government were there for power, especially the person when stay down for Aso Rock. What did he do yesterday night when they talk agreement for Rivers State? That thing void several laws will be say there for Nigeria where you know supposed go. But the debate there. So today we won't bring the Tinubu's fraudulent agreement in Rivers State crisis. Is really a political debt for Fubara if indeed he signed that very document. But as it had be, some people talk say he no sign and we go carry that one come this time. Wike and be the person where they carry the whole thing so we say it happen for that agreement and we go bring that agreement one by one as it take happen. As Wike don't position this whole thing. Whether Fubara signed this thing, we will see who talk him and how he take talk him. And then now APC chieftain now talk that one. The conditions were there for that very River State agreement. The major issues will be said they outlined. Leave out the ones will be say as a concern Fubara. We go carry and come. And also we know say Kanu State don't they wait for the Supreme Court announcement of waiting they happen for Kanu State as they happen for Thursday will be 21st of December. We know say that one they happen for that very side. Then different things will be say if they happen for Africa will be say they call the Organized Crime Index where Nigeria rank second. All those things will carry come. And not be only me go talk plenty of this very something as Angel there for studio. We also get Esther for studio. Plus our own UC Maxwell will join us for Zoom. Make we for talk this very fraudulent agreement where happen for River State, Fubara and Wike feud. And that one will carry come.
Good day, my well-meaning Nigerians, my lovely and intelligent, obedient worldwide. Welcome. Tell your neighbor, say hope day, but not in our politicians or in our leaders, but in God. My people, Tinubu has shown clearly that he does not intend to deepen democracy in Nigeria. Wike's desperation will burn Nigeria. Welcome on board. Let's discuss.
Yeah, so greetings, my fellow obedient and well-meaning Nigerians. Welcome to Obedient Family Television. We don't come back again today. The APC government has nailed our judiciary, but there is actually need for the people to stand up and uphold our democracy. Welcome and join us on this discussion.
Yeah, so make you join us as we don't begin to discuss the thing. We'll go straight to waiting they happen. And I know say yesterday, we dey talk about that very court matter where they talk saying I want Justice Okoronkwo for Abuja give that very verdict. We dey look at yesterday, even UC Maxwell, our own analyst, talk say he no believe say that kind something go happen for court for Abuja. But guess what? That same talk where we dey talk yesterday, it happened. And then they wait for the thing for that very judgment. Then they sign them that yesterday. We no say they don't already sign that judgment already. They don't already give judgment in favor of Wike. That's last week Friday. Wike come put them for one side. Come they wait for waiting to happen for this very Monday. So that yesterday will be Monday when we talk about this thing. We can already collect order with all that 25 House Assembly members. They don't collect them. And the thing converts several people will go tanda for the court yesterday morning. They wait make them for release the order. Make them know how the court won't give that kind order for court. Make we hear from those people first before we enter the matter, because now that matter now then carry go present to Fubara for inside villa. So we go start from wetin happen in the morning time before we go see wetin happen in the night time where then go sign that something where then talk say then sign. So make we listen to wetin happen for court. We'll come back now. No go take.
Today because while I was in my sitting room yesterday, Sunday, I tuned to the television and I watched a live media broadcast by a group that alleged that there was going to be a black market expert ruling to be delivered by Honorable Justice Okorowu today, being Monday, the 18th of December 2022, and that they intercepted the judgment, the ruling that was to be delivered today, and that application was filed on Wednesday, 13th of December. I know the administration of the Federal High Court, the process of filing how it got to Okorowu between Wednesday and Friday, and how ruling was to be delivered today. So I saw it on the screen, on the television, like every other Nigerian. And quickly, lawyers in defense of democracy, we spoke to each other on phone and agreed to be here on Monday because we are watching democracy and we continue to watch democracy. But then one interesting thing I want to now broker to the press is that there's a twist to what the NGO said yesterday. The registrar of that court has confirmed that such an application was filed and that such application was before their court. But however, he now added the twist. He said that the ruling was already delivered on Friday, that same day. He said the ruling was already delivered. So what is the urgency? Why would such an application be filed on Wednesday, go to Okorowu on Friday, you sat on it on Friday, deliver ruling on Friday? The registrar of that court told me that the ruling has already been delivered, that what was on the news is wrong, that what we heard that they were going to deliver ruling today, Monday, 18 December, that rather they delivered the ruling on Friday. So which is a twist, which is why now, and he now asks us that if we have interest in the matter, that we should apply for CTC of what was delivered. And we have already filed an application for CTC and paid, that we are asking for the certified true copy of what happened on Friday. And we'll pursue it to a logical conclusion. And we're now calling on the CJ of this honorable court. This Nigeria cannot be taken by politicians into their pocket. This is not Federal High Court of Wike. If Wike has pocketed River State, if Wike has pocketed the president, as Asari Dokubo's sister said, it's all over the social media, it's all over the news. If he has pocketed the chief of staff, pocketed the President Tinubu, he has pocketed River State, he cannot pocket Federal High Court. Federal High Court has reputation. Federal High Court has reputation. This kind of application is often seen at the FCT High Court. You can see this kind of frivolous market, black market application at the FCT High Court. You really see it at the Federal High Court. So far as I know, the Federal High Court still has reputation in Nigeria. And that is why the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court must look into the process of how this thing was filed, how it got to Okorowu's court, and how Okorowu claimed, like the registrar, Okorowu's registrar, Court 8 registrar, claimed that they sat on Friday and that they delivered rule on Friday. Whereas what the NGO alerted us yesterday in the live broadcast was that the ruling was going to be delivered today. It called for urgent, thorough investigation, and we are challenging the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court to maintain the integrity of the Federal High Court. We are calling on the NJC to look into this matter critically. Democracy must be sustained in this country. Democracy must be firmly rooted in Nigeria. And as long as in the process of democracy, this is not the first time we are intervening in issues like this when there are illegalities coming up. Now the issue is that these people that have come to fight this application, as we are talking, they are not members of the River State House of Assembly. In the eyes of the law, the River State House of Assembly has invoked the constitutional provisions, Section 109, subsection 1G. And they have invoked it. It's a completed act. And there is an order of River State High Court that has restrained these former members of the former speaker, what's his name again? Honorable Martin. and his former members and his former colleagues from parading themselves, from forcefully gaining entrance into the River State House of Assembly complex. So, and the only thing they have to do if they believe in rule of law is to go to court, to appeal the ruling, appeal the procedure that suspended you. Let us know whether Wike will also go overnight and expunge Section 109, subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution. Let him go and expunge it. We now know that we are a Republic of Wike. We now know that we are a Republic of, we now know that we are before the Federal High Court of Wike. Let him go overnight, go to the National Assembly and expunge Section 109, subsection 1G of the Constitution, so that to bereave the members of the River State House of Assembly the power to invoke that section of the Constitution. They have already invoked it. So in the eyes of the law, these people, Honorable Martin and his colleagues, they are former members of the River State House of Assembly, and they should go to court, not to subtly come to a court of coordinate jurisdiction. The River State High Court and Federal High Court are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. You don't come to court of coordinate jurisdiction to get your own black market order to begin to parade yourself as a member of the House of Assembly when the deed has been done. And they have already notified the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission that they have suspended these people. They have done the act. The only thing you do is to go to court and challenge what they have done.
So as we dey look this one, we wan start with wetin happen yesterday. And if una see, that yesterday we dey talk say there is an order circulating online from the court in Abuja. And now we have seen that from what the people that went to that same court yesterday have said, that the order had even been given on Friday of last week. Not even that yesterday that we are talking about. So that's why sometimes we say what you see in social media you think is not possible happens to be possible. But there is something that is very clear that we want to get from our analyst Maxwell, who is joining us via Zoom. So, Maxwell, we are starting from yesterday. We know what happened this morning time that this lawyer has explained, and you're going to further explain today. Before we get to the fact that somebody said that Fubara did never signed any agreement, and then coming to the other one of the agreement that happened in the evening time at the villa. But let's first look at this constitutional violations according to what this lawyer did say. Do you think that what happened, this order that they have procured in the Abuja court, is it not the same order that were previously gotten by the Edison-led River State House of Assembly, recognizing Edison and his 5 members as the people who are actually the remaining members of the River State House of Assembly? And then we have another court in Abuja recognizing the other part of Wike's group as another House of Assembly member. Does it mean that the court in Abuja is not aware of this very Rivers crisis? Is it that this court or the judge in particular is not aware of these orders that has been made, that is even circulating everywhere in the social media, that they need to give another order? Then coming to the final one, do you think is this same order that they are using now to blackmail Fubara into the agreement or the purported agreement that is being signed, as they said, at the Aso Rock Villa yesterday? Max, so okay, while we wait for Maxwell to take these things, let's look at some of the things that that has been happening in this very same agreement issue. We have people who are talking about this very same thing on the mainstream media. We have Rufai who has been talking, very clearly about the wrongness of this, and even the fact that Fubara, is actually hitting himself or shooting himself in the back, Angel, by you know, assenting to this very document they said he has signed, right?
I didn't even, to me, I don't think say Fubara go sign that thing, because it's like shooting himself on the leg, and which I know say the Rivers State people don't give an authority say make him be their governor. He's #1 for Rivers, no be Wike. Wike no go tell am wetin he go do. How they go? If you even see the 8 points where they even give am, nothing where they interesting they there. It's all about Wike and people.
Okay.
It
Maybe
don't make sense.
Yeah, I think what you are coming to is that he is coerced into even going into that. Maybe there is a black smell that they are blackmailing him.
He knows sign him.
Okay. So I think Maxwell is back. Maxwell, I didn't know if you heard the 2 questions I combined before you went offline. Can you please say something about them? If you heard me, or should I repeat them back?
You might have to repeat them.
Okay. The question is this. Yesterday, we had lawyers in court who were excited that they are waiting for, and that came online, that was going to be signed by a judge in Abuja High Court, or Federal High Court, so to speak. So they waited, and they were informed by the court registrar that that particular judgment has already been given on Friday and not necessarily to be done on Monday. So it is a belated issue, meaning that Wike and his lawmakers are already armed with that very judgment, which they want to use either to impeach Fubara. So now, from what the lawyers in that court were saying is that this is totally unacceptable, because that court already know there is an existing order, and that this group are not, they have been denounced from the House of Assembly, Rivers State House of Assembly. So they shouldn't have given that very order in the first place. Does that mean that Wike can get an order or a judgment from any court in Nigeria just for a price, or that whatever he asks for he gets, or he has the judges in his pocket? That's on one part. Then on the other part, do you also think that is this very judgment that they are using to blackmail Fubara into agreeing to the arrangement, the deal that was brokered by Bola Tinubu at the Aso Rock? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. All right. Regarding that judgment, you know, we spoke about this same judgment. Please, am I audible? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right. So regarding the judgment, I spoke up judgment to know if indeed that judgment was a legitimate document of the court, or it wasn't a legitimate document. And I think the document that we saw that came into the public did not have any signature to the document. And now we have seen that there are a lot of discrepancies as to the existence of the judgment. That judgment already had Monday as the date on it. However, these lawyers who went to court are now being told that the judgment had already, that the court had sat on Friday, and the court had gone ahead to deliver the judgment of the court. I wonder how a court sitting on Friday will deliver a judgment, and the judgment will be having the date of Monday, 3 days later, after the judgment was the discrepancies. And from what we saw from that video, because the court has already delivered judgment of the case on Friday. So we are seeing here, Mr. Kanu, that there are a lot of corruption that is going on behind the scene at the judiciary. As to how this judgment has impacted on Sim Fubara, I wouldn't know if this judgment is what has led him to append the signature to the document that has already made it to the public, and everybody is already reacting to the judgment. But you can be rest assured that there are procedures of addressing judgments of court. The High Court that was sitting in Port Harcourt had already delivered its judgment regarding the recognition of Edison Ehie as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, and that every other person, including the Honorable Martin team and all the other 27 or 26 as lawmakers, and they're shielding themselves as lawmakers or as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. If this particular Martin led, who are loyal to Wike, had a problem with the order of that court, all they needed to do was to appeal the judgment. The procedures of addressing or the procedures of reacting to judgment of court is to leverage the legal means of appealing a judgment to the next court that is higher than the one that has delivered it. What was expected of Martins and his entire team was to pick up that judgment and head to the Court of Appeal to appeal the order of the court. And if they are still not satisfied by the judgment of the Court of Appeal, they can as well take it up to the Supreme Court. But we didn't see that. We saw a clandestine move of them taking a case to the High Court. I told you the other day I was here, Mr. Kanu, that the High Court where they took this case to, and the High Court that sat in the federal in Port Harcourt, are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. So I wonder why they would have seen that a High Court had delivered judgment in a case, or had given an order in a case, and they proceeded to the same court of course that same complaint before the court. These are the corruption and fraud that goes on within the judicial in Nigeria. Of the judgments, nobody even knows if indeed the High Court in Abuja here truly sat and had the case, or they didn't hear the case. So these are the problems that we need to fix as it comes to the integrity and independence of the judicial institution.
Okay, another thing that I want to look into, Maxwell, is that a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, that is the chief Eze Chukwuemeka Eze, he has claimed that Fubara did not sign the peace agreement brokered by Bola Tinubu. That is what we saw on the on a post, I think, in one of the tabloids today, because it's today that is making it. He said a whole lot of things that he did not sign the agreement. He cited that the biro, that is the pen that was used, is supposed to be a red pen, that is a red biro, expected of him as a governor. As such, signing the something. But when you look at the agreement signatories in there, you see that the red one that was there is the one of Wike. But he said that the document has some question marks, as the whole handwritings are all same, which is not possible, indicating that the document was prepared before the commencement, concluding, before even they started doing anything. He said all signatures were signed before Wike and Ribado signed. Even Tony Okocha wanted to sign with the red pen. So what I'm saying is this: is it really whether it's legally binding when a sitting governor signs, whether it matters anyway, whether a sitting governor signs with a red pen or signs with a blue pen or a black pen? Does it matter? Or is that agreement they had yesterday, is it legally binding in court, as so to speak? Because I don't know where else they are headed with that. For me, I think Sim has shot himself in the leg if he indeed signed the agreement that is showing on the screen right now. Maxwell.
The agreement of the court, we must, not of the court, of course, of these parties, we must recognize the fact that looking at the legality of a document does not depend on the kind of pen that have been used to sign the documents. Whether a golden pen was used, whether a black pen, a blue pen, or a red biro was used to append signatures on a document, it does not affect the legality of such documents. What the courts wants to note is whether indeed parties agreed to a contract or agreed to terms and signed it showing free will to be bound by that contract, and also that they did so without coercion or without undue influence. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the color of pen that was used to sign. While I'm not a handwriting expert to tell whether the handwritings in that document are the same or not, but I would not waste my time with those frivolities. The case of the legality of these documents goes to the terms that are provided in that document. For us to know if the document is indeed a legal document or an illegal document, or will be enforced by a court of law, would actually be determined by the terms that are in it. If the terms of a contract, if the terms of an agreement are in clear violations of the fundamental principles of the law, if the terms of an agreement are in violation of the extant provisions of the 1999 Constitution, then such terms cannot be enforced by a competent court of law. It cannot happen, except the agreements are agreements that are contractual, that they came together, and as consenting parties, they appended signature and agreed, and they do not violate the clear provisions of the law. That is when we cannot speak to the legality or as to the enforcement, and indeed that such documents will become enforced or will be enforced in the court of law. Look at these terms, Mr. Kanu. Believe you me, that documents cannot be enforced by a court of law. At least majority of the terms of the documents cannot be enforced by a court of law. But to be direct to your question, the biros or the pen that were used, the colors of the pens that were used to append signatures really do not matter as to the legality of the document.
Okay, and we have some actors in the media. We have Soma Sambo, we have Rufai, and in most of what they are analyzing has to deal with Tinubu not having any constitutional rights to actually do what he did, trying to void the actions of a court sitting in Port Harcourt. But before we get to that, let's listen to some of what they are saying so that you know the direction the question is coming from. Let's take a listen to what Soma Sambo said about the constitutionality of Tinubu's agreement at the Aso Rock Villa.
Tinubu himself knows that this arrangement wouldn't hold waters. Wouldn't really hold waters. It's tilted towards one side, and you and I know that if there was one person who left that villa happy and really excited, that person will be Nyesom Wike, because everything just seems to be almost towards him. And you'll see that there are two court cases by two different factions. How come one is being mentioned? The number one thing there is that all matters instituted in the courts by the governor of Rivers State in respect of this case should be withdrawn. What happens to the one that was instituted in Abuja today, and there was a court order? That wasn't mentioned, and that was by this factional speaker, Mayoli, who was there, and Sim Fubara's own speaker wasn't there. If you look at the signatures that were appended to that document, you see Governor Sim Fubara was there, his deputy was there, deputy governor, and then Nyesom Wike was there. The speaker that's loyal to Nyesom Wike was there. How come the speaker that's loyal to Governor Sim Fubara wasn't there? So, I mean, we all know that in politics, a presidential intervention is much cherished, and I really like what President Tinubu has done. By intervening, he has shown that there's a political will from the federal side to be able to look for a resolution to this problem. But when it comes to the feasibility of actually having this implemented, I'll tell you that the same executive powers that President Tinubu has is the same executive powers that Governor Sim Fubara enjoys. And the federal government, through President Tinubu, cannot tell him how to run his state, Rivers State. Not even a minister can do that. Because just the same way President Tinubu was elected with executive powers, that's the same way Governor Fubara was elected with executive powers. And you see the things that are here. Commissioners will be represented. The governor should not sack local government chairman.
The budget too.
And the budget to be, oh my God. I mean, President Tinubu himself, when he was governor, wouldn't take this. And you know what happened when he had a clash with former Governor Ambode? Governor Ambode showed him that he was the governor in charge, even though he was not going to get.
So, Maxwell, you've heard from most of the actors in the mainstream media and what they are talking about. Now, my question is, looking at it from the perspective of the people, that is the speaker that is recognized by the court that has actually vacated the seat of these 25 people, is not present in these very agreement deals, but the other person is. That's one question I want you to answer. What is the implication if he goes back to Rivers State to start pretending over the house? That's one. Then the second one is the fact that Fubara agreed to go on without looking back at the PDP, the people who left the PDP. That is the lawmakers that left PDP to APC. It was not addressed. Now, I want you to look at those, three issues. The third one is the commissioners that left, that the agreement sought to bring back. How are they going to do all of this now? I just don't know how they are going to deal with this. But what does the law provide that should be done?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kanu. You see, the problems that we are having here is that a lot of people have decided to throw legality to the bin and have opted for illegalities. And this is the result, of course, what we are seeing that is happening in Rivers State. I was speaking about, I made a video where I posted on X, where I spoke about the legalities and illegalities of some of the items of that document. But to answer your question about Edison, who was not a member of that meeting, now, where you are going to a contract or where you are going into an agreement and some terms of the agreement will be binding on someone, especially if the person occupies a separate armament, as it were, that it is very, very important part of the meeting and appends his signature to show that he has consented and is ready to be bound by the terms of that agreement. But what we have seen here is that some parties, certain parties were brought together from the agreement. Wike, Martin, and others who are supposed to benefit from the agreement. And those who are not going to benefit, but who it is going to be at their detriment, were not made a party to the agreement. This leads me into the role of PDP. What is the position of PDP as a national body, not even as a state body? Because here, PDP as an entity gave their political floor, their political ground to these people to contest elections for Sim Fubara, for all of people who are the factor their agreement into their entire terms that were drafted. So you see that itself was ill drafted. It had a premeditated ambition towards it. In fact, I do not see that any conversation was held. I just felt like the document had been prepared and Sim Fubara and others were just called to the State House to append their signatures towards it. Some people have claimed that that document is not legitimate. But of course, we've seen that a lot of established media houses have reported that document. People who are part of, who are assistants, who are special assistants in the State House have also published this document and have told us that it is legitimate. So I think that this document is legitimate. But away from that, now to the last angle of this conversation surrounding this document, I would like to highlight some items that are generally illegal. Looking at the terms of that document, these terms are illegal to the document. The first one, Mr. Kanu, I would like to particularly mention the one that leads to the presentation of the budget. Remember that Sim Fubara had presented a budget. For you to be able to pass a budget, for you to present a budget to the legislative arm, it needs to come as an appropriation, and it will be presented as an appropriation bill. And when the appropriation bill is presented, the legislative arm will now pass it into law. So it is passed as a law, basically, as the budget is passed as a law before spendings can begin to take place, or before monies can be released to all the parastatals, agencies, and government bodies that are supposed to enjoy or make expenses or revenues from the bill. What we are seeing here is an unconstitutional affair. What they are telling us is that an executive arm has gone to the legislature and has presented a budget in line with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution, and the Legislative House, sitting, of course, under the order of the court, which said that the High Court in Port Harcourt had given Ederson the legal backing, constitutional backing, to sit as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. And they sat and passed that budget into law as an appropriation bill, and it was passed into law. But what Tinubu is doing, or is orchestrating alongside Wike and others, is that they are telling us to go through an unconstitutional process presenting a law that has already been passed. It has not been done anywhere in the world that you carry a law that has been passed by a legislative house and you bring it again for a passage. It doesn't happen anywhere. So what we are seeing here is not supported by any provision of the law. There is no legal backing to it, none to my knowledge, or statutory backing. Another one I would like to talk about, Mr. Kanu, is the case of the commissioners. The nation have by Sim. You would also remember that Sim Fubara had already told them that they needed to resign from office as commissioners because he appointed them. The question are the procedures for appointing commissioners or ministers at the federal level, commissioners at the state level.
Maxwell, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Okay, please quickly round up.
All right. So what happens is that they present the names of commissioners to the State House of Assembly, and when they are screened, the State House of Assembly now passes that they are now appointed. This is it. So by that document, what it is saying is that you don't just reinstate commissioners. You need to submit their names to the State House of Assembly, and they are going to be screened before they'll be allowed to become commissioners of the state. It doesn't happen overnight. Lastly is the case of the reinstatement of 27 lawmakers into the position or being members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Remember that there are two existent orders that have been made by the court. The court had already given an order stating that these people are not recognized and that they should not parade themselves as speakers or as lawmakers. In line with the provisions of Section 109, subsection 1G, and also subsection 2, Edison had already declared their seats vacant at the State House of Assembly. So as it stands now, statutorily, in line with the provisions of the law, those 27 lawmakers are not members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The only thing that they can do to become members of the Rivers State House of Assembly is to lodge an appeal, is to lodge a complaint in a competent court of law questioning the duration of their seats to be vacant by the Edison-led House of Assembly. It is not within the power. There is no constitutional power. Sim Fubara does not have the political power, the statutory power, or the legal power to reinstate lawmakers who their seats have been declared vacant, because he is not even a member of the legislative arm. it must be emphasized that the legislative arm of government is a distinct arm from the executive. So that particular item, number 3 in that agreement, cannot even be implemented by Sim Fubara. It does not rest on Sim Fubara. The only means of implementing that is to leverage the courts, that these 27 lawmakers go through the courts, ask the court for the interpretation of the law, and in line with the facts that their seats have been declared vacant, and the courts will give an order. If the courts declare that their seats were not legally made vacant, then no. But if they were legally made vacant, Sim Fubara does not have the power to do so. You would also remember that the PDP had already communicated to INEC that they are ready to conduct another elections to determine those who are going to occupy these seats in the State House of Assembly. I would like to state that the governor of the state, in the person of Sim Fubara, should be careful in taking these actions because it would violate the clear provisions of the 1999 Constitution. And if he goes ahead to do that, it is a ground for which he can be impeached as governor of the state.
Maxwell, thank you very much. You know, say they always there on point, one. So thank you for sharing your time and your thoughts on this very matter. Until tomorrow again, we will say we'll go call you, make you come, help us hit the matter because it never finish. So thank you very much for joining us today. So my people, having carefully and critically gone through this very thing where they show for screen here, as these truths as initiated by President Tinubu to address the lingering political crisis in the state, we want to actually highlight that the 8-point agreement is but really unconstitutional, illegal, unacceptable, undemocratic, really a judicial abuse of office and a ploy to cage governance in Rivers State and buy temporary relief for years on Wike. Getting back to the studio, I know say my people don't they wait since made them for join. So Angel, you don't hear all the things where Maxwell explain, put all the constitutional grammar where then they talk for there. Say yes on Wike, even Tinubu myself no get the power to do the whole thing where we say do there. And even the agreement where they do, why they talk say they somehow fraudulent because na Wike side the thing go.
Exactly.
And they not even talk about the order where Wike go by on Friday where they hide. That same agreement no talk about them. It's just the talk say make Fubara come out the matter where he get for court. And they make somebody where court don already talk say make he no be a member again. He won't talk say make them go put them back.
The issue be say, they even ask, make them put those 25 now because 2 don't come back. 25 state assembly members. Is he as PDP or as APC? Okay. Because that is the question number 1. Even though law say they are no longer members.
Now APC now talk say they don't come out already. And talk say they don't come out already. So now APC members.
It's not possible. It's not possible because Rivers State people no vote APC. They voted PDP because there are some things Tinubu and these co-people go they do like this. It go be like say Nigerian people na mumu. We no even know constitution again. It no make sense. Even their caretaker, they are even talking about everything there. That 8-point agreement, all na fraud. Because all of them go against Rivers people and Fubara. The ministers, the commissioners, we don't resign by themselves. We don't resign by themselves. You won't bring them back. Now by force to be a commissioner. And you say caretaker, you must. It doesn't make sense. You are just giving the man orders if na small pikin of 10 years, a whole governor of a state. You know if he dish instruction to him like that. Okay, we get this one. We come out from Dere Faro to me say my enemy's enemy is not my friend. He is my enemy's enemy. This settlement meeting is not in the interest of the victims of the evil hegemony winning Rivers. This is the hegemony asking the capo de Totti.
intervene. This one, all this big grammar where they parrot me they put, be like saying Italian distance then get. But anyway, coming to you, Esther. I know that Rufai of Rise TV says several things of what Angel has mentioned, but maybe let's take a listen to what he said before we have your own contribution, because they all sync together. So let's take a listen to what Rufai of Rise TV is saying, that Tinubu, what Tinubu did in Rivers State is not the right thing that he should do. Let's take a listen.
Twitter user saying it might be a planned tactic for both of them to defect, because either ways, I know there's a defection amongst both of them. I don't know who's going to happen first. And I said this a couple of days ago here, that will it push one of them to defect? Because it's looking too good to be true.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, then they have this deal. This deal is political coffin for Fubara. So I don't even know who prepared this agreement. And Fubara appended his signature to it, except, like some people say, he will do the Aburi U-turn. We all know historically the Aburi U-turn, that most of the things were agreed in Aburi were reneged upon once they got back to Nigeria. Except Fubara will do the Aburi U-turn. If he's not doing it, this is political suicide for him. Because look at it, all matters in court be withdrawn. Proceedings against the governor of this River State be dropped. It's a lie. Foul.
But it's in number 3. Okay.
You will have 27 lawmakers that you are saying they should reinstate in the APC. Lawmakers that as of 2 days ago wanted to impeach you. It's because they didn't have the court backing.
Absolutely.
And you think they will leave you alone? Foul. Except both of them they know what the game they are playing. Just like some people had posited in the past, that for a succession to happen between Wike and Amechi, because it was too good to be true to have two Ikwere people come back to back, that probably a fight was state managed, which I don't want to believe, but some people have posited that in political strategy, except that is what is happening now. Because with this, they are going to go for Fubara's jugular, and Fubara is out of the game, and they are going to consolidate on Rivers. So it's all looking too good to be true. We would like to see the game. In all of this, you asked a very important question. Where is PDP?
Yes.
I announced to you, like I said to Mr. Ologbodiro yesterday, PDP has been played out. And Wike has destroyed, has Maradona'd PDP to the extent that, you know what Wike has done to PDP? He has Maradona'd them by dribbling them, and to capital, he has done the hand of God on PDP. That's what Maradona did. The hand of God, 86 World Cup, scoring with hand, which is foul. That's what Wike has done to PDP. And PDP cannot respond. And
would have Wike Maradona'd Rivers people or the PDP? That one is another thing. But I want to recall Maxwell, if he's still with us on Zoom. There is something that is really trending about Wike walking away with 17 billion naira budget without scrutinization from the National Assembly. Does that mean that Wike, what is it just having rigged River State for APC and Bola Tinubu that will warrant so much things that he gets doing so many things and he gets away with it? 17 billion budget presentation in the Senate and he was not scrutinized. He was actually said they can give him more money. Let's take a listen before you react, even if it's for a minute. I don't say we'll not get time, but let's take a listen.
6 projects are ongoing projects. And the amounts allocated to these 6 projects will not be even enough to complete the ongoing projects. So, to me, this is less than supplementary budget for FCT. But I want to remind members, FCT operates dual budget. We have the national budget, which is a small cake from the national budget, and we have the main budget of the FCT, which is a statutory budget. I want to urge members, considering the fact that the budget is too big, just 17 billion. I know in the next few days, the budget that we'll be expecting from the FCT will be in hundreds of billions. Now what they are presenting is just 17 billion. And all the projects are ongoing projects, with the exception of one which is financed through multilateral loan. I want to plead to my colleagues, if you have no objection, because these are ongoing projects. There is no single new project, and these projects, the amount that is being allocated will not complete all the 5 projects. So for us to take our time to deliberate on this, I think we are just wasting our time. If you have no objection, we will ask the minister to take a bow and go.
Well, like I was saying before, we look at this very bit. This is Wike presenting 17 billion naira, I think, supplementary budget to the to National Assembly, and he was not scrutinized. There was actually no objection from everybody that are pushing it out. Does that mean that Wike does these things and gets away with it without, you know, no sort of anything happening to him? Don't we have people who should talk or something like that? So 17 billion. Please say your mind on this within 1 minute. We don't have time.
Mr. Kanu, I don't know if I am the only one that had that 17 billion is for 5 projects. I don't know if you had that. I don't want it to be that I am probably mistaken.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. So we are seeing, although I've not had the opportunity of holding the document that has been presented before the House as it stands now, so they are telling us that they are going to commit 17 billion to 5 projects, and that amongst these 5 projects, that 4 of them are ongoing projects, and only 1 of it is a new project. I am left in I wonder the contract that is going on in FCT. I want 4 of them that have been on much as 17 billion to it. But I mentioned, he also said that there will be another budget that will be coming, that FCT presents 2 budgets, that there will be another budget that will be in 100. Gives me worried. Kanu, in an epoch, which is dollar rates, we know that all of these monies will end up being borrowed. The fact that there is no scrutiny when such presentations are made, we saw the same thing happen in several other places. When the supplementary budget of 2023 was being presented, where they had budgeted monies for houses, funds, there was no scrutinization budget, and it was passed. The same thing happened with the major appropriation bill for 2024 that was moved there. We saw what happened in Lagos State, that a budget was presented to the State House of Assembly where 200 million naira was budgeted for the payment of lawyers for personal representation of Sawolu. The same thing is what we are seeing here, that these people do not scrutinize the budgets that come before them. You can hear him. I am left appalled. I am disappointed. I am dismayed by this type of thing that happened in Nigeria. You can hear him saying, you don't need to worry, it is just 17 billion, you just need to pass it, you don't need to object to it. And is this the basis for which monies are given to people in Nigeria? Is this the basis for which the National Assembly does their job or pass budgets into law in Nigeria? It leaves me to continue to ask several questions. Who do we have seated as the President of the Senate? Who do we have seated as the Speaker of the House of Reps? Because there is nothing, absolutely nothing is being done. This is not just a rubber stamp National Assembly. We do not have a National Assembly that is doing their job. Oversight is not being done. Scrutiny is not being done. Proper passage of laws is not being done. Then we begin to ask, what were these people elected to be there? Of course, we know that many of them were not elected to be there in the first place. They bought their ways to this seat. And that's why we can see such affronts of the law. I tell you, Mr. Kanu, the position of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory was only an award, a prize given to Wike for the rigging that was done in Rivers State. And we can see it. I bet you that there would be nothing in that budget that would actually reflect the true position of the masses, that would affect the livelihood of the masses in the long run. It's actually unfortunate, and I call on everybody to condemn this thing that is going on in the National Assembly and the executive arm of government.
Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you very much. Let's come back to the studio. So, before we went on listening to that very distinct, Esther, you had some things, your contributions on the subject matter.
Okay, yeah, just like Rufai said, the 8-point agenda was just one-sided. If you look at it very well, it was just one-sided. It was just in favor of Wike, and nothing about Fubara was mentioned at all. And President Tinubu, he applauded him for trying to bring peace and make a progress, but it should be on a fair judgment. Like everybody, it should be a balanced subject and not being one-sided, just like what we saw. Okay,
that's okay. And then Angel, one of the final distance, I do understand that Wike said in different places that he will never leave PDP. We have his people who has left, all the people he sponsored to the house have left. It's not so. I think we have a minute preview of that very particular video, just a minute preview where he said everybody who participated on that primary, I think on the primary this thing, that is going to support them and that he's never going to leave PD. Several of those things, but let's take a listen. Our time don't they go, but make we just hear again. Make we tell people say the man talk.
And let me vow today, anybody who emerges here, I will support the person to the fullest. Anybody who emerges here today, I will support the person to the fullest, because I'm a committed party person, because I love this party, because since 1998 I've been in this party. I work for this party. I will not go anywhere. This is my party.
My people, you see, Wike, I don't even know the adjective where I go use qualifying Wike. Talking from both sides of his mouth. If we begin to bring receipts where he don't talk so many things against APC, because he don't talk before, say APC na cancer. Now he say he no go leave APC, PDP. If he leave him, waiting go happen to him. All those things, he know they remember him. Now where he don't jump, enter APC. Because of a minister, because he knows say he rig Rivers against us, because we won that, Labour Party won that Rivers. He rig and give Tinubu. They can't compensate him with minister. But you know, my dear, it's good. We thank you. We appreciate you. God bless you. Maxwell, for being with us today. My people, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, tell all the obedient. Make them they listen waiting they happen for Rivers. Say Wike won't burn Nigeria down because of power, because of money, because he's too greedy and wicked. We appreciate you. We love you. But God loves you more. Bye for now.